All right, find your breath. Take some deep breaths into your lower back. And let's get set up here with the toes together and knees together. Flex the ankles, lift the toes off the ground. And when you flex the ankles, really mean it. So flex hard, squeeze the knees hard, internal rotation of the thighs, tailbone tucking down, forehead on the ground, hands and elbows on the ground. Okay, just the head lifted straight up, keep the back of the neck long. Okay, immediately find the tension on the low back. Big breaths. Hands and elbows come off the ground. Okay, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Engage the lats, so pull the shoulders away from the ears towards the hips. Lift a little bit higher with the head, lift a little higher with the torso. Find more tension into your low back. More. Big breath here. Keep bringing the shoulder blades towards each other. Engage the lats, shoulders away from the ears. Open the palms, big, straight wrist. Big breaths. Big breath. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the toes, flex the ankles more. Find that front shin muscle burning. Lift a little bit higher. Tuck the tailbone. One more big breath. Exhale, slowly lower down. Let's do a quick child pose here. Press the hands back, knees wide, toes together. Big breaths into the low back. Hips heavy, hands, shoulders, torso heavy. Good. Okay, let's go face down one more time. Anchor back extension. Toes together, knees together. Zip up the legs. Tension the legs towards each other. Flex the ankle, internal rotation. Tuck the tailbone. Flex a little bit more. Good. Okay. Forehead on the floor, and then comes the head straight off the ground. Hands and elbows off the ground. Shoulder blades towards each other. Engage the rhomboids. Shoulders away from the ears. Engage the lats. Think of that external rotation. Open the chest, keep the back of the neck long. Find the tension on the low back. Big breaths. Good. Every inhale gets the head and the torso up, away from the hips, away from the floor. Big breaths here. Let's go hands a little bit forward. More. Hold it right there and breathe. Keep lifting the chest up, the head up. Tuck the chin in. Double chin. Head away from whatever you're looking at. Flex the ankles, squeeze the knees, come a little bit higher. Find that whole connection, calves, hamstrings, low back, mid back, upper back. Pull the head back a little bit more, tuck the chin in, shoulders away from the ear. Lower down, and child pose. Right hand opens to the right, torso follows, left hand follows. Just 2 or 3 breaths here, keeping the hips heavy, body sinking to the floor. Back to center. Maybe a breath or 2 here. Open to the left side. Back to center. And let's come up to standing. Okay. All right, let's go right foot forward, left foot back. Remember, taking that back foot maybe another step or so. So you get a nice long stand. Knees slightly locked, but legs are straight. Good. Hands on the hips, find that alignment on the hips, usually meaning front leg, hip pulling back. Measuring sticks, decompression breath. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Use the lats, same as before. Shoulders away from the ears. The head back away from whatever you're looking at. Big breath here, long wing to short wing. Good. Now, remember that back knee, don't let it bend. Lift, keeping the heel off the floor. Good. Just one hinge, pull the hips back. As you pull the hips back, make sure that right hip is coming back, that you find in the right hamstring. And then before you come up, just check the tension on your back and try to engage more of your back body, more. Maybe if it means potentially hyperextending a little bit, make sure those low back muscles are firing up, big breaths. Now keeping the tension on the low back, mid back, upper back, come up vertical, and then hinge again. Yeah, and as you're doing that, make sure the right hip stays back and the left hip doesn't come back more than the right. And you're gonna hinge and come up vertical, and the whole time you're gonna keep that. It's almost like you're doing a back extension with the upper body the whole time. Again, pull the hips back. Make sure it's the hips that are going back, not the torso that's coming forward. Big breath in through the nose. Come up vertical again. Okay, and now hinge the hips. Keep the hinge. We're gonna go into the rotation. So the right hip pulls back, left hip comes forward. The movement is not on the torso, it's on the hips. So come back to center, reset. Big breath, shoulders away from the ears. Don't rush it. Right hip back. Find the right glute. Hold right there. Nice, better. Good. Right back knee straight. Push yourself up and away from your feet. Come back to center. Let's do one more. Right hip back. Torso follows. Into the rotation. Hold it right there. Come back to center. Reset. And then switch sides. Left foot forward, right foot back. Nice. So, measure out your legs. Straight, unlock knees. Nice. So vertical first. Decompress. Remember that first session. Long, tall, 360-degree breath. Pull the hip back. Away from my hand. Good. Big breaths here, long wing. Good. Hold it and breathe. Keep getting long on the spine. Not as much tension first, which is getting that decompression. So length first, then pull the hips back. Make sure the left hip comes back with the right. Hinge the hips back. Good. Don't lead with the chest, lead with the hips. So it's the hips that come back. Hold it right there. Pull your left hip back a little bit more so you're fully straight. And then remember, when you fix the hips, make sure the torso is still decompressing up. Shoulders are still away from the chest. Good. So come up vertical. Press the feet. Get really tall. Hinge the hips back. Almost leading with that left hip really, so that the right one doesn't come back. So more left. And remember to find that tension. So hold it here. Lift the chest off the ground. Yeah, you feel that right there? Good. Keep that tension. Come up vertical, but don't let go of the tension in the back. So only come up as much as you can. Keep a little bit of a hinge. Good. Hinge back all the way again. Pull the hips back. Hold it right there, and then check. Left hip back, right hip forward just a little bit. More. Good. Decompress. One more time. Come up vertical. Keeping the tension in the back. Much better. Good. Hinge again. We're going to do 3 rotations here. So, left hip back, right hip forward. Right hip reaching for the front left knee. And the rotation is happening at the hips, not at the torso. Come back to center, reset first. So left hip stays back a little bit. Hinge the hips back, keep the tension on the low back. Right hip forward, left hip back. Pull this down and in. Back to center. Last one. Left hip back, right hip forward. Rotating. We're looking for tension on the left glute. Back to center. Come back up. Shake that off. Okay, let's go wide with the legs. Just wide. Heels wider than the toes. And we'll just finish up with a standing decompression here. Measuring sticks. Get really tall. Shoulders back. Remember that outer anchor. Pull the legs away from each other. Okay. Keep the chest high. Keep the head away from whatever you're looking at. Hinge the hips back. Spread the floor. And find that tension on the low back. Chest up. Head back away from whatever you're looking at. Back of the neck along. So tuck the chin in more. Hold it right there. Open the arms. Long wing. Let's do a few screwdrivers here. External. Inhale. Internal exhale. As you're doing this, keep thinking. Legs away from each other. Chest away from the floor. Tension on the low back, more tension on the low back. So keep lifting the chest high. Good. One more time. Inhale, open, exhale, close, and then inhale, open. Squeeze your arms towards your body, and then as your hands come forward, your hips come back. So counterbalance, arms forward, hips back, chest off the ground. Good. Only go as far as you can keep the tension in your low back. Lift the chest a little bit higher and engage from the heel, hamstring, calf, low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders away from the ears, engage the lats, lift the chest a little bit higher, and a little bit higher, and a little bit higher. Tuck the chin in, double chin, back of the neck long. Stand up, shake it off. Nice. Good job.